Good afternoon and welcome to Pod Swimming in East Providence, Rhode Island for today's afternoon 13-14 session of the BGSC November 2020 team specialty meet. My name is Jeremy Abreu and I'll take you through the afternoon here. Should be a very action-packed afternoon of swimming here. We will feature the 100 free, the 200 breast, the 100 back, and then we'll close it out with the 200 butterfly. So before we get started here, as you watch live the Crimson and Gators teams going through their warm-ups right now, just a few housekeeping items. And if someone, I know we got like 18 or 20 people online right now, if someone can pop into the live chat and tell me if you can hear me okay, and if the video is good, that would be spectacular. But all swimmers are required to wear a mask unless they are eating, drinking in their seat, warming up, or racing. Swimmers are also expected to maintain proper social distancing at all times. Thanks to the use of Pod Swimming's heaters and a relatively warm, sunny weekend forecast, we will be using a mixture of indoor and outdoor seating throughout the weekend. Great. Thank you, Jennifer Stearns. Everything sounds good. Perfect. There will be designated spots for swimmers to place chairs both indoors and outdoors, which will ensure the necessary separation, and they will be directed to a space by their coaches upon arrival. So folks, it looks like this afternoon everybody is outside in the back. It's a relatively mild mid-November afternoon here in New England, so everybody is outside maintaining distance today. Just like with practice, parents are not allowed inside the building unless they are volunteering. And out of respect for the Pods facility and the guidelines that are in place, we ask parents who are in the front parking lot to please avoid sitting in large groups, maintain proper social distancing, and wear a mask if necessary. In addition, we ask that parents not gather around the windows and doors and instead utilize the live stream. And I see we have about 25 people. So you are using the live stream. So Jim Zabo, all good. Thanks, Jim. My man, Mike Kavik, thanks for joining. One of my favorite families, the Rogers, Yvonne checking in, all good. Linda McClure, sounds great. Thank you, folks, for the check-in there, the audio and video check. So Gators is partnering with Pod Swimming this month for a food drive in support of the Hope and Faith Drive. Canned and non-perishable food donations are being accepted now. It can be dropped off in the marked bins located in the Pods and Swimming lobby. So I had the good fortune last night of speaking with Carl Sweeney. So he is the organizer of the Hope and Faith Drive. So Carl and his family have been servicing the East Providence and surrounding communities back into 2011 with feeding and providing needs to the less fortunate. So Carl and his charitable organization do a great job, and it's the least we can do to partner with them and help them out here this afternoon. So if you have any canned goods and you want to drop them off, please feel free to do so at the bin in the lobby. If not, there's always tomorrow. So on another quick note, again, as we watch the swimmers go through and finish their warm-ups here, this only applies to the Gators team. So if you had put in a team order, the majority of the stuff has arrived and will be distributed to the swimmers at the meet today. Parkers were already delivered to the swimmers. If you requested to be contacted to pick up your order, Caitlin will be reaching out individually on Monday. And if you would like her to bring any portion of your order to your child at the pool this weekend, or if you want to pick it up from Caitlin on Sunday, respond to her email and she will gladly bring it to you. So now that we have that taken care of, we're at 2:05 here, another 10 minutes before we get started. Dave Kaiser checking in. Hello all. I hear that there's a birthday in the Kaiser household today. So a very happy birthday to Dave's daughter, Charlotte, who is competing this afternoon, and she turns 14. I already wished her a happy birthday. She looked thrilled that I knew about her birthday, Dave. Once again, folks, also wanted to give a huge thank you to all of the parent volunteers, coaches, staff at Pods, and everybody for allowing the kids to be able to continue to do what they love to do, and that's swim in swim meets in some way, shape, or form. So this may not look like Brown. This may not even look like Seekonk High School when we can have a full complement of people in here, but the Pods facility and Susan have done a great job of making sure that the children have the children, now we're in the 13-14 group, right? I'm used to talking like the youngsters are in here, but the kids have a good, safe environment to swim in, and they can keep doing what it is that they like to do. So a big thanks to Susan and Pods, Ray and his staff at Gators, Coach Jen here at Crimson, and all of the parent volunteers, all of the officials. Ken Cartwright, Dick Parasol have been here all weekend, graciously giving their time. Melissa Lombardi was here, and I think she still is here for this session, volunteering. So there's been a great turnout as well. Also wanted to thank all of the parent timer volunteers. So it looks like for the 2 o'clock session, they haven't made their way into the building yet, but it looks like we're going to have Kathleen Hughes or Tim Groves, parents of Ruby and George, Mike Kavik, Nick's father, Jeff Richards, Yvonne Rogers, or Larry. Not sure which one will be here, but I think it might be Larry. Ashley Reed, who is Sedona's mom, and Pavel Kusarev. And I always mess up Pavel's name, and I sincerely apologize for that. So the swimmers have vacated the pool. Thank you, Tim. Oh, okay, we got another birthday here. Lisa Tarpey checking in. So happy 13th to Jacoby Jones. All right, let me find Jacoby in the heat sheet, so when he swims, I'll give him a little birthday shout out. Where is Jacoby Jones? Tough to do this live on the fly here. Here we go, Jacoby Jones, 100 backstroke birthday. And Jacoby is 13 today. Great, well, happy birthday to Jacoby. Happy birthday to Charlotte as well here today. So the pool has been vacated. Our first event is going to be the 13-14 100-yard freestyle here. There will be 8 heats this afternoon. So heat 1 will feature in lane 2 Lucas Leonard from Gators, in lane 3 Sonia Warwick from Gators, and in lane 3 Abigail Cook from the Crimson. So Lucas is a 13-year-old on the Gators team. Sonia is 14, and Abigail is 14 as well. So Sonia comes into heat number 1 with the best time out of the 3 participants, clocking a best time of 1:08.11 in this event, as the timers are starting to appear over at the side and making their way into the building. We should be underway very shortly. It looks like we got about 6 minutes to go. And Dave Kaiser, your check is in the mail for that comment. I certainly appreciate it. With my, I will tell you all while we have a couple minutes, a quick story. So for the 8 and under session this morning, we got to the end, and I turned off the live stream, and I neglected to see that we still had 2 races to go. And when I went to try and get it back on, the internet crashed, and all you know what broke loose. So we had a little technical snafu this morning that we don't want to imitate this afternoon. I see we have more officials coming in. We have Mike and Michelle Dauphin. Their son Zach will be competing this afternoon in the 13-14 session. So thank you to Mike and Michelle for volunteering their time. Abby Marino is also here as well, and the timers are entering the building here. So I see Kathleen Hughes and everyone coming in here. Melissa Hughes is here as well. So once again, a big thank you to all of the timers. Diane Kavik. That's right, I knew Mike wasn't. I think I said Mike, but I know Mike's on the live stream watching this. So the timers have entered. They're getting to their spots behind the blocks. A couple of the swimmers are lined up. We're going to be ready to go here very shortly, folks. And again, this is going to be lightning warfare here, as these events will go by very quickly, and it will be nothing like the meets that we are all also so used to over at Brown University. But I cannot wait to get back to Brown. It will be nice when that day does finally come and go. Or I should say, just come. So swimmers have entered. They're on the deck. Officials are ready to go here. This is going to be the mixed 13 and 1400 yard freestyle. Once again in lane 2, Leonard. In lane 3, Warwick. And in lane 4, Abigail Cook from Crimson. And we're underway this afternoon here at Pod Swimming in East Providence for the 13-14 session. So it looks like lane 2 is open. Lucas Leonard is a scratch from Gators. So you'll have Warwick in 3 and Abigail Cook in 4. Okay, so at the 50-yard mark, we have Warwick in the lead in lane 3 with Cook not too far behind. Let's see if Abigail is going to be able to make up a little distance here. It looks like she's closing on Sonia here in lane 3. It's going to be Warwick, though, who hits the wall first and enters the final stretch here in the 100 freestyle in Heat 1 here at Pod Swimming in East Providence, Rhode Island. And your winner will come from lane 3. It will be Sonia Warwick from Gators coming in first, with Abigail Cook in lane 4 coming in second. So this will be the first session, the 13-14 session, where after each race, the swimmers will do a 50 warm down. It also gives me an opportunity to talk a little bit about, we have a sponsor for today's event. So my good friend over at Fairway Independent Mortgage, TJ Curran, has graciously agreed to donate and to sponsor our session here this afternoon. And what we're going to do is, around the Christmas time area, any of the donations that we get for sponsors, we're going to be sponsoring a family or two to help provide them and their children with some Christmas gifts. So all be going toward a good cause. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, are you drowning in debt? Just managing to stay afloat, paying your current mortgage? It may be time to swim into a mortgage refinance. Or maybe you're looking to freestyle into a pre-approval for a new house with a pool, of course. Rates are in the 2s for those who qualify. Call TJ Curran at 401-258-8523. Or you can check him out on mortgagesonmainstreet.com. NMLS ID 67740, equal housing lender. So once again, thank you to Fairway Independent Mortgage for sponsoring us here this afternoon. And we're moving on to Heat 2. Heat 2 of 8 of the 100-yard freestyle. In lane 1 will be birthday boy Jacoby Jones. In lane 2 will be Cormac Hughes. In lane 3 will be Neil Reed. In lane 4 will be birthday girl Charlotte Kaiser. In lane 5 will be Madison Rogers. And in lane 6 will be Jillian Brichette. Swimmers are getting ready to go here, all pumped up. And here we go, folks. Heat 2, 100-yard freestyle. So it's going to be Rogers and Ray who hit the wall first at the halfway point here. Madison Rogers in lane 5 looking very smooth, along with Neil Ray in lane 3 with Charlotte Kaiser, the birthday girl, not too far behind them. And it looks like Madison Rogers in lane 5 is pulling away here in this heat. As she hits the flags, it is indeed going to be Madison Rogers capturing heat number 2 in first place, with Neil Ray coming in second. So spectacular race by Madison Rogers and Neil Ray and all of the Crimson and Gators participants, which will take us here to heat 3 of 8 of the mixed 13-14 100-yard freestyle. In lane 1 will feature Andrew Simon. Lane 2, Corinne Bronson. Lane 3, Sarah Pescod. Lane 4, Ava Bradshaw. Lane 5, Alexandra Akhmeva. Lane 6, Sedona Reed. So in heat 3, in lane 3, Sarah Pescod will come courtesy of our top time here for this particular heat. Sarah comes in with a 102.23 in lane 3, and she is a 13-year-old swimmer from the Gators. As you watch the swimmers do a 50 cool down, again, this is the first age group where the kids have been doing a cool down after their events. In the younger groups, they do not do the cool downs. They start with the 13-14 group and the 15 and overs. Once again, that's going to take us to heat 3, which will feature in lane 1, Simon, 2, Bronson, 3, Pescod, 4, Bradshaw, 5, Akhmeva, and in lane 6, Reed. It is a very odd feeling doing play-by-play in a very quiet pool. It's almost like a library. I almost feel like I shouldn't be talking. But here we go. Heat 3, 100 free. Lanes 1 and 2 are open. Out to a really fast start here at the 50 is Alexandra Akhmeva of lane 5, followed closely by Sarah Pescod in lane 3, both from Gators. So the race is going to be for second place. Alexandra Akhmeva in lane 5 from the Gators will capture first. Looks like Sarah Pescod from Gators is also going to capture second. And third place is going to, let's see here. Too close to call here for third place. It looked like it was Sedona Reed and Ava Bradshaw touching almost simultaneously there. But your Heat 3 winner will come from the Gators, Alexandra Akhmeva, out of lane 5. That will bring us to Heat 4 of 8 of the mixed 13-14 100 freestyle, and it will feature in lane 1, Moritz Gerhard. In lane 2, Ara Parasigian. Lane 3, Zach Dauphin. Lane 4, Victoria Zhang. Lane 5, Chloe Song. And in lane 6, Emma Richards. So Zach Dauphin in lane 3 comes into this heat with the best time, a 1:00.66, with Victoria Zhang, a close 1:00.97, right behind Zach Dauphin. So the swimmers from Heat 3 have finished their warm down. They've exited the pool. Swimmers from Heat 4 are entering the building. A little weather change this afternoon. Very warm, sunny morning here in East Providence, Rhode Island. It looks like sun has tucked itself behind the clouds a little bit, a little cooler. So you'll see most of these kids are entering with their Parkers and hooded sweatshirts and such. But we're just about ready to go here. Heat 4, 100-yard free. We're off on Heat 4, and Tim Groves, I hear you loud and clear. I think I'm going to go get the audio track from that the Indianapolis Colts would use back in the Peyton Manning days to get a distinct cheating advantage over every other team in the AFC when they would pipe noise into the dome. So at the 50 mark, it looks like we have Ara Parsegian in lane 2 from Gators with the early lead. Zach Dauphin right there in lane 3 with Moritz Gerhard in lane 1 as well. This is really going to come down. It was Parsegian again at the turn, touching the wall first, but this is a 3-horse race, folks. We have Parsegian, Gerhard, and Dauphin. Parsegian looks like he's going to come in first. Who's going to come in second? And it's going to be lane 1, Gerhard, with Zach Dauphin coming in third. So Parsegian, Gerhard, Dauphin, 1, 2, 3 here in Heat 4 of the 100 freestyle. Very, very exciting race. And Tim Groves continues to deliver the comedy in the live chat, folks. This is a very interesting thing, because as I'm preparing during the week, you know, thinking about the things that I want to get out on the telecast and say, you know, comedy, a few one-liners here and there come to mind, and I never really get them out during the telecast. I'm always afraid, you know, that people are going to start throwing the rotten fruit at me. In any stretch, that's a great Heat 4. Swimmers are cooling down here, and that's going to take us to Heat 5 of 8. So again, 8 heats in this 100 free. Heat 5 will feature in lane 1, Carmen Bunt. In lane 2, Maggie Holland. In lane 3, Jack Eady. In lane 4, Riley Plant. In lane 5, Angela Parasol. And in lane 6, Skylar Hartshorn. So for heat number 5, Jack Eady comes in with the best time of 59.77, followed very closely by Riley Plant with a 59.98. So when you take a look at the field, we go from a 59.77 to a 1:00:36. So we get about a half a second separating all of these swimmers. So this should be a really exciting heat number 5 here in the 13-14 100-yard free. Looks like the swimmers are almost ready here. Here we go, folks. Heat 5 of 8, 13-14, 100-yard free. They're in. Nice clean start. No officials' hands are in the air. That's a beautiful thing, folks. Field very tightly packed. Well, it looks like Maggie Holland in lane 2 has separated herself a little bit here as we close into this first 50. Skylar Hartshorn in lane 6 right behind her. Let's see if Holland can hold this up through the second 50. Again, these swimmers are densely packed here, as you can see. Hartshorn and Holland, too close to call. Lanes 2 and lane 6. Lane 2 from the top, lane 6 is on the bottom. Who's it going to be here as we come down the stretch here? Heat 5, Hartshorn, Holland. Looks like it was Hartshorn. Skylar Hartshorn in lane 6. Barely out-touching Maggie Holland in lane 2. Again, that may have been too close to call. We'll have to go to the, well, well, just laughing at the live chat here, a little friendly banter between Tim Groves and Dave Kaiser. Dave is our resident Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so it is the first year, and I believe the last 20, that he's been able to gloat or be happy about his Steelers. So we're going to let him have his day this year, even though they still will not win the Super Bowl. But again, great race there from Hartshorn in lane 6 and Holland in lane 2. So that's going to take us to heat 6 of 8 of the mixed 13-14 100-yard freestyle, which will feature in lane 1, Milo Vuoltinaho, lane 2, Jocelyn Halsey, lane 3, Alex Solyama, lane 4, Maggie Taplin, lane 5, Madison Stearns, and in lane 6, Ryan Kornacki. So lanes 3 through 6 will be full of crimson. Lanes 1 and 2 will hold the Gators. Swimmers are making their way into the building here. Folks, this may be a record. We are up to 67 people on the live stream watching, and I just want to break 100 one of these sessions. That would be fantastic. So we're up to actually almost at 70 right now. So let's try and recruit some friends, family, some extra people for tomorrow's 13-14 session. Let's see if we can break 100. But we're ready to go here. Heat 6 out of 8, 100-yard free. Here we go. Looks like it was Solyama in lane 3 touching the wall first on the first 25 turn. And he's opened up a little bit of a lead here through the first 50. Alex Solyama of Crimson. Let's see if he's able to keep up this pace. This young man looks extremely fast. I will say that Jocelyn Halsey in lane 2 is right on his heels. And as they make their final turn here, it is going to be Solyama and Halsey. Does Halsey have enough to catch him? I don't think so. Your winner of this heat is going to come from lane 3, Alex Solyama, with Jocelyn Halsey a close second, and it looks like third is going to be Maggie Taplin from the Crimson in lane 4. So a really good showing from the Crimson there in that heat, taking 2 out of the 3 top spots. Checking in again on the live stream. We got Bruce Rogers. We hear you well. Thanks, Bruce. Yvonne is still here. Jennifer Stearns, Jean Mercier, Go Alex, Heather Housley, Gall Joss. Yeah. So where are we here? Heather, you just saw a great race with Jocelyn right there. And we have the OG Caper. Madison is incredible. Yes, Madison Rogers had a spectacular race, winning her heat a little bit earlier in this session. So we're going to move on to the last 2 heats, Heat 7 and Heat 8 of the 100-yard freestyle, which will feature in lane 1, Jacob Freeman, in lane 2, Claire Carroll, in lane 3, Lauren Jolly, in lane 4, George Groves, in lane 5, Ava Wong, and in lane 6, Ryan Connors. So Lauren Jolly comes in with a best time in this heat of 55.83. So once again, this is a heat where lanes 1 through 6 are separated by a little less than half a second. So you should see some really fast swimming here in this 100-yard freestyle. Swimmers have entered the building as they don their jackets and masks. Looks like the officials are ready. We're ready to go here, folks. Heat 7 of 8, 100-yard freestyle. So at the 50, your leader is going to be George Groves in lane 4, followed closely by Ryan Connors in lane 6 and Jacob Freeman in lane 1. This is shaping up to be an exciting race here. It's going to be Groves who hits the wall first, making the turn. Connors about a quarter of a second behind. Let's see if Groves can hold off Connors. He's in lane 4. It looks like as he hits the flags, it will be George Groves coming in first. Looks like second place came from lane 1, Jacob Freeman, followed by Ryan Connors in third. So again, very exciting race. And while the swimmers take time to do their 50 cool down, this announcer will always be a very impartial play-by-play announcer, except when his daughter or daughters are racing, which is what you're going to see in the next race, folks. So Heat 8 will feature in lane 1, Corinne Cartwright. In lane 2, Zach Szabo. In lane 3, Garrett Jones. In lane 4, Oliver Cox. In lane 5, Ben Connors. And in lane 6, Addison Abreu. So Garrett Jones comes in here with a scorching time of 50.65. So he is a good 3 seconds ahead of the next closest competitor as far as times coming in to this. And Garrett obviously has the fastest time of any of the competitors here today in the 100 free. As heat number 7 finishes their warm down, heat 8 is lined up and ready to come in here, which for the Fairway Independent Mortgage signature heat of the 13-14 100-yard freestyle. Once again, lane 1, Cartwright. Lane 2, Szabo. Lane 3, Jones. Lane 4, Cox. Lane 5, Connors. And in lane 6, Abreu. Here we go, folks. Heat 8, 100-yard free. So it is Jones out in front in lane 3, followed closely by Zach Szabo. Jones touches the wall first. So it is a 2-horse race between Jones and Szabo. Garrett Jones, as we hit the flags, Garrett's going to come in first. Szabo in second. Third place is going to come from lane 4. It's going to be Oliver Cox, followed by Ben Connors in 5, Abreu in 6, and Cartwright Abreu in 5th, Cartwright in 6. Sorry about that, folks. So that's going to conclude the 13-14 100-yard freestyle. So just like that, we are done. With this event, and we're going to move on to the event number 15, which is the mixed 13 and 14 200-yard breaststroke. There will be 6 heats. Heat 1 will feature in lane 2 Abigail Kook from Crimson, in lane 3 Jillian Brichette from Gators, and in lane 4 also from Crimson Jacoby Jones. Okay, as the swimmers finish their cool down from the 100 free. We will move on to event 15, the mixed 13 and 14 200-yard breaststroke. Just waiting for Jillian Brichette here. It's in lane 3. Looks like she's a little late getting to the blocks here. So again, in lane 2 will be Abigail Kook. In lane 3, Jillian Brichette. And in lane 4 will be Jacoby Jones. Brichette has made her way into the pool. We'll be ready to go momentarily. This will be heat 1 of the 200 rest. So let's see what happens here, folks. It never fails where the person who is usually late to the blocks ends up having a spectacular race. And if not winning their heat, having a very strong race. So let's see if that happens with Brichette. This morning we had Grayson Stock-Guild in the same position. Not only was he late to the blocks, but in a 100, he stopped at 50 for a good 2 seconds because he thought it was a 50, and he ended up coming in second place. And right on cue here, we have Jillian Brichette out to an early lead after the first 50 here of the 200 breaststroke. Jillian, of course, is the daughter of Susan Pascal, who is the owner of Pods here in East Providence, Rhode Island. And Brichette remains in the lead over Jones, coming down the stretch here to close out the first 100. She has about a body length lead on Jones. Looks like Brichette has continued to maintain her lead over Jones, swimming out of lane 4. Although Jones has narrowed the gap a little bit here, folks. You hear in the background some words of encouragement from Coach Brian Cameron from the Gators team. Let's see what happens here in the final 50. Brichette maintains about a body length lead on Jacoby Jones here. Let's see if Jacoby is going to catch her and finish out strong there. It's about a half a second separating the two swimmers at this point as they come down the stretch here for the final 25. And it looks like Brichette has put her foot on the gas a little bit, clearly picking up her tempo as we approach the flags, but so has Jones. Who's it going to be, folks? And it is going to be Jillian Brichette, finishing about a half a second or more in front of Jacoby Jones here in heat number 1 of the 13-14 200-yard breaststroke. Fantastic swim by Brichette. She was late to the blocks. She won her heat. We continue it. I'm certainly not going to advocate that for any other swimmers. However, it seems like today the swimmers have had some pretty good luck and success as Abigail Cook in lane 2 from Crimson finishes up the 200 backstroke. All right, we got a lot of comments I haven't seen here. All right, let's see. Is the 200 breast next? That's Henry Fraser, so that must be an old comment. Yes, Henry, yes, the 200 breast is next. It's going on right now, and we're going to be moving on to heat 2 of the 200 breast, which will feature in lane 2, Neil Ray from Gators, lane 3, Lucas Leonard from Gators, lane 4, Corinne Bronson from Gators, and in lane 5, Madison Stearns from the Crimson. Well, I have a quick break in the action here, so there is a Lisa Tarpey in the live stream. Lisa, are you, and you can answer me in the chat here, are you any relation to the Tarpey's Beef family, which used to own a facility in Pawtucket, probably back in the 80s and 90s? I'm dating myself here, which I frequently do, but figured I would ask. As our Heat 2 participants are walking into the building here, getting ready to go, it looks like we're going to have 2 swimmers. So we're going to have Madison Stearns in lane 5, Neil Ray in lane 2. So that's it, folks. We have a bunch of open lanes here. And they're off. So our swimmers come to you from lanes 2 and lanes 5, with all other lanes being open. And let's see. Okay, Lisa, so no relation. All right, it was worth a shot. It's worth a shot as we go and continue on in heat 2 of 6 of the 200 breaststroke. I see Andrea Kavik checking in. And Andrea, you know what? I know who Lump is. And I know who Lump is because I've heard your dad talk about him. He is, I believe, your boyfriend, an offensive lineman down at USF? See how good my memory is there. But if I'm right, good luck to Lump and his South Florida Bulls, maybe? I think that's the nickname of South Florida team down there. Thank you for tuning in today, Andrea. Nick will be coming up soon. Here in the 200 breasts, Nick will be in heat 5 as we continue along here in heat 2 of 6 of the 200-yard breaststroke. Breaststroke is a very interesting event from a spectator standpoint in terms of tempo. So you see a lot of breaststrokers either have a really long, elongated, slower tempo, or you'll see some breaststrokers like you'll see later this afternoon, Jay Lapina, who has very short, quick, explosive breaststroke technique. As the swimmers continue to go and move along here in heat 2 of 6 of the 200-yard breaststroke. I see Mike Havoc in the chat, go USF. Hopefully I was right with all that commentary, Mike. I remember that conversation. I remember seeing Lump at a swim meet one day, and he had some USF gear. I said, that guy's got to be an O-lineman. And he was. So Madison Stearns is going to take it here from lane 5 in the 200 breast. Great race from Madison. As Neil Ray finishes up in lane 2 here.
Good job.
So as the swimmers will now do their 50 cool down, we're going to move on to heat 3 of 6 of the 200-yard breaststroke, which will feature in lane 1, Ara Parsegian. In lane 2, Sonia Warwick. In lane 3, Jocelyn Halsey. In lane 4, Madison Rogers. In lane 5, Cormac Hughes. And in lane 6, Chloe Song. Once again, coming to you live here from East Providence, Rhode Island on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. We have hit 70 viewers, folks. This is a milestone. We have never hit 70 viewers in a session until today. So again, I have a good feeling about this 13, 14-year-old audience. Tomorrow, you are going to bring it, and we're going to have over 100 viewers. I'm throwing it down. We got to get it done. Over 100 viewers. Okay, the swimmers have entered the building again. This will be heat 3 of 6 of the 200 breast. Lane 1, Parsegian. Lane 2, Warwick. Lane 3, Halsey. Lane 4, Rogers. Lane 5, Hughes. And lane 6, Chloe Song. And they're off. Let's see if Madison Rogers can repeat. She won her heat in the first event, the 100-yard freestyle. Let's see if Madison can come in first. She's going to have some tight competition from Jocelyn Halsey, who comes in with the best time of 2:55.99. So we'll see what happens here. Parsegian touching the wall first at the first 50, followed closely by Halsey. Parsegian's in lane 1, Halsey's in lane 3. Both from the Gators. Madison Rogers in lane 4, keeping within striking distance here. Parsegian in lane 1 has opened up a little bit of a lead on Halsey here. As you can see, it's about a body length. And Rogers is starting to close the distance on Halsey here. This is going to be an exciting end of race, folks. When I get excited, the volume goes up, the octaves go up, everything just gets crazy. And it looks like we're heading toward a very exciting finish here. Parsegian continues to lead the way out of lane 1, but we have a real battle shaping up in lanes 3 and 4 between Halsey and Rogers. Halsey with a really strong pull out there. Built a little bit of a lead up. So what I'm seeing here, folks, is that Halsey has really strong pullouts and separates herself on the turns, and then Rogers will catch up between the flags. So we'll see what happens here. Again, lane 1, Parsegian still leading the way. Jocelyn Halsey in lane 3. Again, about a half a body length in front of Madison Rogers here as we're going to make the turn for home. So your race is not for first place, as that will be Ara Parsegian. So your race is going to be for second, folks. Jocelyn Halsey and Madison Rogers. Halsey has about a body length lead on her as they approach the flags.
Good job!
And it is going to be Jocelyn Halsey coming in second, with Madison Rogers taking third. So again, great race all the way around. Top 3 participants were Gators, as were all of the members in this particular race from BGSC. So again, fantastic race there. Ara Parsegian taking it down. Joss Halsey, strong effort, coming in second, and Madison Rogers coming in third. And also great swimming by Sonia Warwick and Chloe Song as well here today. All right, so while the swimmers do their 50 cool down, that's going to take us to already heat 4 of 6 of the 13-14 200 breast, which will feature in lane 1, Claire Carroll; in lane 2, Victoria Zhang; in lane 3, Jacob Freeman; in lane 4, Emma Richards; in lane 5, Maggie Holland; and in lane 6, Andrew Simon. So Jacob Freeman comes into this particular heat with the best time, 2:47.56. He's a little over a second ahead of Emma Richards, who comes in with the 2:48.86 as you watch the Heat 3 participants exit the pool. Here we go with Heat 4. You see Maggie Holland entering the pool area first. And this will be Heat 4 of 6 of the 200 breast. Lane 1, Carroll; 2, Zhang; 3, Freeman; 4, Richards; 5, Holland; and in lane 6, Andrew Simon. Claire Carroll, the lone Crimson participant, will be in lane 1. And we are off. So you will see we have lanes 4 and 6 open. Swimmers coming to you by way of lanes 1, 2, 3, and 5 here in Heat 4. Jacob Freeman in lane 3 out to an early lead. Very strong, powerful breaststroke exhibited by Jacob here, and he's in the lead by about 2 body lengths. Maggie Holland close behind, Victoria Zhang close behind, Claire Carroll right there as well. So halfway through here, Jacob Freeman continues to extend his lead on the field. I'll tell you, 2, 3, and 4. I can't separate them, right? So Carol Zhang and Maggie Holland, they're all just about neck and neck with each other Once again, someone will have a good turn and a pullout, and then the other will catch them in between the flags. Jacob Freeman continues to motor along here. As he is going to be your Heat 4 winner, but the real race, again, is going to be for second place. Now it looks like Claire Carroll and Maggie Holland, lanes 1 and lanes 5, have emerged, and they're going into their last 50. So we're going to see if it's going to be Claire Carroll, if it's going to be Maggie Holland, or if Victoria Zhang is going to come out of nowhere here and pass them both as Jacob Freeman makes the turn for his final 25 here. Jacob Freeman, a 14-year-old from Gators, will be your Heat 4 victor. And it's going to be between Claire Carroll and Maggie Holland. It looks like Claire Carroll has a little bit of a lead right now as both of the swimmers hit the flags here. Let's see, this is going to be really close, and it is Claire Carroll who comes in second. Great job by Claire Carroll from Crimson and Maggie Holland from Gators in lane 5.
Easy, Victoria.
Spectacular swimming, and I got to tell you, folks, the Rogers family is bringing it. There are, I can't even count the number of Rogers family participants and fans that are representing on here. I mean, we even have folks chiming in from Florida, from Sarasota. So really appreciate your support. Thank you for taking the time to join us this afternoon. The Rogers clan, for sure. So we'll move on to Heat 5 of 6 as we watch the swimmers finish their cool down here. Lane 1 will be Ryan Kornacki. Lane 2, Ava Bradshaw. Lane 3, Nick Kavik. Lane 4, Addison Abreu. Lane 5, Corinne Cartwright. And in lane 6 will be Maggie Taplin. So Nick Kavik comes in with the best time, the top time here. Ironically, Nick is the only 13-year-old swimmer in this heat. Nick comes in with a 2:39.27, followed by Addison Abreu's 2:41.97. So again, this will be Heat 5 of 6 of the 200 breast. Swimmers are making their way in, losing all of their gear. Looks like the officials are ready. And this is Heat 5 of 6 of the 200-yard breaststroke. They're off clean. No officials' hands are in the air, and we are on our way here in Heat 5 of 6 of the 200-yard breaststroke here at Pod Swimming in East Providence, Rhode Island. Once again, real quick turnaround for most of these swimmers. Swimmers in general are used to taking a swim, cooling off, and then it's like 30 to 60 minutes between their next race. This is lightning warfare here in our new setup here at Pods, where you could be swimming and 10 minutes later you're back in the pool again. So very, very challenging environment. Definitely forces the swimmers to make sure they're taking care of their bodies, eating right, having the right proper snack in between races here. As you see coming down the stretch here for the first 100, it's Kavik and Abreu. Nick Kavik out of lane 3 in first place. Addison Abreu in 4 in second place. They're about 0.2 apart right now. Let's see what happens in this second 100 here. But they are out in front of the field. And like I said, folks, I will always be impartial except when it's my daughter, but I will also be very impartial then as well, as we have Coach Mike Connors from the Gators joining us camera side here. As you watch Kavik and Abreu battle it out here in the 200 breast. Kavik has opened up about a half a body length lead as they enter the final 50 here. Will Abreu have enough in the tank to catch him? I don't know here. That Kavik is quick. And you'll see as these two battle coming into the final turn of the 200 breaststroke. It is going to be Nick Kavik who takes it down first place out of lane 3. Addison Abreu will come in second. And it looks like Ryan Kornacki in lane 1 from the Crimson will come in third place. Let's see how they finish up here. Cartwright making a late push out of lane 5. It will be Kornacki in lane 1. So your top 3, Kavik, Abreu, Kornacki here. Heat 5 of 6. 200 breaststroke. As the swimmers now will go through their cool down. And folks, this is going to bring us to our Fairway Independent Mortgage signature heat of the 200 breaststroke. This is heat 6 and will feature in lane 1, Carmen Bunt. In lane 2, Mila Vuoltinaho. In lane 3, Oliver Cox. In lane 4, Damien Figuet Kosarev. In lane 5, George Groves. And in lane 6, Ben Connors. Oliver Cox comes into this particular heat with the best time of 2:23.33, barely edging out Figuet Kosarev in lane 4 with a 2:23.48. So I know Damien and Oliver are both two of the strongest breaststrokers, not only in the Gator family, but in New England as well. So this should be one heck of a race as you watch the Heat 5 participants exit the pool. They're going to get their masks, put on their cold weather gear, and here we go, folks. Heat 6 of 6 entering the pool right now in this last heat of the 200 breaststroke. This should be a very exciting race here at Pod Swimming in East Providence, Rhode Island. All lanes will be occupied here. We are ready to go. Heat 6, 200-yard breaststroke. They are off. Very clean start. Very fast pace here. And it is Damien Figuet Kosarev. After the first 25, he is already pulled out to about a half a body length lead. Again, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here as George Groves is giving him a solid push in lane 5 with Oliver Cox occupying the third position right now. Groves and Figuet Kosarev, very familiar with each other, battle each other multiple times a week in practice. As we come down the stretch for the first 100, it is Figuet Kosarev who's built up almost a 2-body length lead on Groves in lane 5. Vuoltinaho in lane 2 is making a push here, so last 100 here going to be very interesting. It looks like, I don't want to count anybody out, but it looks like Figuet Kosarev is going to be hard to catch. The race is going to be for second place, it looks like, between Groves and Vuoltinaho. Although Oliver Cox may have something to say about that. Looks like Vuoltinaho and Groves touch the wall at the exact same time here. Figet Kosarev maintaining at least a 2 to 3 body length lead right now. It's going to be Vuoltinaho in lane 2, currently in the second place position as we enter the last 50 here. Groves is battling, giving her a run for her money here. Let's see what happens, folks. Again, Figet Kosarev in lane 4 is going to win this signature heat, but who's going to come in second? Will it be Vuoltinaho in lane 2, or will it be Groves in lane 5? It looks like it's Vuoltinaho right now by a hair. We'll see as they hit the flags here, coming down the stretch, and it's going to be Vuoltinaho in lane 2, coming in second, with George Groves out of lane 5, coming in third. What an exciting final heat of the 200 breast. Action-packed afternoon here. Pod swimming in East Providence, Rhode Island, as the swimmers will take their cool down, and we'll move on to our next event, which is the event number 16, the mixed 13-14 100-yard backstroke, in which there will be 7 heats. Competing in heat 1 will be in lane 2, Abigail Kook from Crimson, lane 3, Neil Ray from Gators, and in lane 4, Lucas Leonard, also from Gators. As you see the swimmers finishing their cool down here. What a great afternoon of racing so far here at Pods, East Providence, Rhode Island. We hope you're having as much fun as I am, because this is a blast. As the swimmers exit the pool. And this is going to set us up for event 16, the mixed 13-14 100-yard backstroke. Once again, heat 1 of 7. Lane 2 will be Abigail Kook. Lane 3, Neil Ray. Lane 4, Lucas Leonard. So swimmers So it looks like we're not going to have Lucas Leonard. So we're going to get you a little closer to the action here, folks. Only have participants in lane 2 and 3, heat 1, 100-yard back. And they're off. So it's Neil Ray from Gators out of lane 3, opening up the early lead at the halfway point here. So your winner is going to come from lane 3, Neil Ray. Abigail Kook from Gators, from Crimson. Right behind him here. Good job, Rick! That will close out heat number 1. Swimmers will be allowed to do a 50 cool down, as is customary with the 13-14 group, as well as the 15 and over group. That will take us, folks, to heat 2 of 7. We're up to 75 viewers. Again, a record. We need to get to 100. And you know what? I'm going to call on the Rogers family here. I'm going to call the Rogers family out. You guys are bringing everybody to the party here. I know you can go out and find another 26 people. Actually 24. We're up to 76 people. So I'm throwing down the gauntlet to the Rogers family. Let's go. Bring it tomorrow. We need another 25. We need to get over 100 viewers here. So we're going to move on to heat number 2 of 7 of the 13-14 100-yard back. Lane 2 will be Andrew Simon from Gators. Lane 3 will be Sedona Reed from Gators. Lane 4, Cormac Hughes, who I don't believe is here today. And in lane 5 will be Charlotte Kaiser. Oh no, Cormac is here. Okay, so Simon in 2, Reed in 3, Hughes in 4, birthday girl Charlotte Kaiser in lane 5. Lanes 1 and 6 will be open. Here we go, folks. Heat 2 of 7, 100-yard backstroke. So lane 2 is open, if you noticed, and I did not notice for a second. We do not have Andrew Simon in 2. So our swimmers come to you from lanes 3, 4, and 5 here. Looks like Sedona Reed from Gators out to the early lead over Cormac Hughes. Let's see if Sedona can hold on here as they approach the turn for their final 25 here in the 100-yard backstroke. As they approach the flags, Cormac Hughes making a little bit of a move here, but it's going to be Sedona Reed coming in first place out of lane 3, followed by Cormac Hughes, followed by Charlotte Kaiser in lane 5. So great race there in heat 2 of 7 of the 100-yard backstroke. And Bruce, I got to agree with you. My shoulders hurt naturally. Never mind watching these backstrokers do what they do. Moving on to heat 3 of 7 of the 100-yard backstroke. Will feature in lane 1, Madison Rogers. In lane 2, Ara Parsegian. In lane 3, Jillian Brichette. In lane 4, Maggie Holland. In lane 5, birthday boy Jacoby Jones. And in lane 6, Sonia Warwick. So Jacoby is your lone Crimson participant here in heat 3 of 7. Jillian Brichette comes into this race with a top time of 1:12.74, 1/100th ahead of Maggie Holland, who comes in with a 1:12.75. So once again, this should be a really good race. Holland and Brichette both swimming very well so far this afternoon. So here we go. Our heat 3 swimmers have entered the building. They are ready to go. Looks like our timers are ready, our officials are ready. You see Mike Dauphin on the far side there, showing his ID or something. But here we go, folks. Heat 3 of 7, 100-yard backstroke. So it's going to be Holland to the wall first, lane 4, followed by Parsegian in lane 2, Brichette in lane 3, making a strong push here. Let's see what's going to happen here. Brichette in lane 3, making a strong push, challenging Parsegian in lane 2. Holland seems to have a pretty safe lead here as they get into the flags. It is going to be Holland in first. Will Brichette do it? No, it's going to be Parsegian coming in second, with Jillian Brichette coming in third for the Gators. So another great, exciting race here at Pod Swimming in East Providence, Rhode Island. This 13-14 100-yard backstroke event. Swimmers will do their 50 cool down, and we'll do what we do. We'll talk about heat number 4. Heat 4 of 7 will feature in lane 1, Ava Bradshaw. In lane 2, Corinne Bronson. In lane 3, Zach Dauphin. In lane 4, Sarah Pescod. In lane 5, Emma Richards. And in lane 6, Victoria Zhang. Zach Dauphin comes into this heat with the best time, clocking a 109.16, followed very closely by Sarah Pescod at a 109.25. So this should be a very competitive heat, as well as all the heats have been this afternoon here at Pod Swimming in East Providence, Rhode Island. A very exciting afternoon of swimming, and I'm spending it with 77 of my best friends here on Gators TV on YouTube. So the swimmers finish up their cool downs here. Heat 4 will be making their way into the building. Very interesting race here with Zach Dauphin in lane 3, who I just talked about. Zach's mom and dad are both officials, both officiating here, as you see Michelle in frame and Mike on the far side of the pool. So not only does Zach have to be really careful at home, but he's got to be careful in the pool too. He doesn't want to get DQ'd by his parents. As the swimmers get ready here, it looks like we will have an open lane 2. So we will not have Corinne Bronson. So lane 2 is open. Lane 1, Bradshaw. 2, 3, Dauphin. 4, Pescod. 5, Richards. 6, Zhang. All right, they're off. Let's see if Zach Dauphin can match what he did coming into this race. And right, first 25, it's going to be Richards and Dauphin. Richards in 5, Dauphin in 3, touching the wall first. Pescod right behind them. At the halfway point, it is going to be Richards in lane 5, who touches the wall first and has built a little bit of a lead on Dauphin and Pescod. in lanes 3 and 4 respectively. Gonna see what happens here. Richards will hit the wall first, coming into her final turn. Dauphin and Pescod right behind them. Who's it gonna be here? Richards has the lead. Dauphin holding on to second place. They hit the flags. It is going to be Richards, followed by Dauphin. Sarah Pescod taking third place. Really exciting race here in Heat 4 of 7 of the 100-yard backstroke. Fantastic race there out of Dauphin, Pescod, and Richards. And that, folks, that will take us to Heat 5 of 7 of the mixed 1400-yard backstroke, which will feature in lane 1, Skylar Hartshorn. In lane 2, Angela Parasol. In lane 3, Ben Connors. In lane 4, Chloe Song. In lane 5, Ryan Kornacki. And in lane 6, Riley Plant. Your 2 Crimson participants will be in lanes 5 and 6, Kornacki and Plant. And Yvette Fernandez, you're very welcome. Appreciate the kind words. And yes, the crew needs to come deep tomorrow. We need to get over 100. We got it up to, I believe, 76 was the high point here. So we need to get that thing over 100 tomorrow for sure. Counting on this group. Heat 4 makes their way out. Heat 5 makes their way in once again. Heat 5 of 7. Mixed 1400-yard back. Lane 1, Hartshorn. Lane 2, Parasol. Lane 3, Connors. Lane 4, Song. Lane 5, Kornacki. And in lane 6, Riley Plant. And they're off. Clean start to Heat 5 here. So at the 50, it's going to be Ben Connors out of lane 3 with the big lead, and you'll notice Connors with those long arms generates a ton of pull in the water in his backstroke. Very good form. You'll notice his head perfectly still, looking up toward the ceiling. He's already headed for home. Your winner of Heat number 5 is going to come from Heat 3. It's going to be Ben Connors, but who's going to come in second? So Hartshorn in lane 1. Plant in lane 6. It looked like Hartshorn in lane 1 as of right now. Plant in lane 6, making a move, but it's going to be Skylar Hartshorn in lane 1, taking second, with Riley Plant out of lane 6 taking third. But once again, folks, your winner coming out of lane 3 would be Ben Connors. He came in with a 107.68, which was the fastest time in this heat, and he was your Heat 5 winner. So congratulations to Ben. That will take us to Heat 6 of 7 of the mixed 1400-yard back. And will feature in lane 1, Jacob Freeman. In lane 2, Alexandra Akhmeva. In lane 3, Jack Eady. In lane 4, Madison Stearns. And in lane 5, Alex Sulima. And in lane 6, Moritz Gerhard. Jack Eady comes in with the best time here, 105.67, followed very closely by Madison Stearns at a 105.69. So again, not a lot of time separates the field here in Heat 6 of 7. So we should have another very tight race here. Our 2 Crimson participants are Stearns and Sulima in lanes 4 and 5. Looking for heat 6, and they've entered the building. Once again, folks, this will be heat 6 of the mixed 13-14 100-yard backstroke. In lane 1, Freeman. 2, Akmeva. 3, Edie. 4, Stearns. 5, Sulima. In lane 6, Gerhard. Officials are ready. Swimmers have entered the pool, and this is heat 6 of 7 of the 100-yard backstroke. So as they approach the first 50, it looks like it's going to be Sulima in lane 5, followed closely by Freeman in lane 1. So right now, Sulima and Freeman neck and neck here in the 100-yard backstroke here at Pod Swimming in East Providence, Rhode Island. And it is Freeman in lane 1 who hits the wall first for the turn. Jacob Freeman from Gators in lane 1. Looks like he has about a half a body length lead. Here comes Sulima in lane 5. It's going to be Freeman, who was long at the finish there, but Freeman in lane 1 coming in first, with Sulima in lane 5 coming in second. So it looked like Jacob at the very end could have taken another stroke there. Coasted into the wall. It didn't hurt him. It could have hurt him, but it didn't. First place, Jacob Freeman from the Gators. And folks, that will take us to our Fairway Independent Mortgage signature heat of the 100-yard backstroke. This will be heat 7 of 7 and will feature in lane 1, Corinne Cartwright. In lane 2, Ava Wong. In lane 3, Zach Zabo. Lane 4, Garrett Jones. Lane 5, Addison Abreu. And in lane 6, will be Maggie Taplin, who is your lone Crimson participant. All of these competitors in Heat 7 are 14, and the top time comes from Crimson, Zach Zabo, with a 57.77. So Zach with a really quick time. Garrett Jones, second fastest time with a 59.31. So this should be a great signature heat here, mixed 13 and 14 100-yard back. This is heat 7 of 7. Again, lane 1, Cartwright. 2, Wong. 3, Zabo. 4, Jones. 5, Abreu. 6, Taplin. Officials are ready. Swimmers are in the water, and this is heat 7 of the 100-yard backstroke. So it's Zabo and Jones battling here, lanes 3 and 4. They are in a dead heat for first place and second place. Looks like Zabo may have a little bit of a lead on Jones. Third place looks to be a Brew in lane 5, or Wong in lane 2. That's going to be a tight one. And it is Zabo and Jones coming down the stretch here. Zach Zabo in lane 3 looks like he's going to have it. He will be your first place in heat number 7, followed by Jones. Third place looks like it's going to come from lane number 5, Addison Abreu. We have a Zabo, Jones, Abreu finish. 1, 2, 3 coming out of lanes 3, 4, 5. And that, folks, will wrap up the 100-yard backstroke. And believe it or not, we are about to enter in our last event of the afternoon. For the 13-14 group, which is the mixed 200-yard butterfly, there will be 4 heats. Heat 1 will feature Birthday Girl. Lane 1, Charlotte Kaiser. Lane 2, Emma Richards. Lane 3, Garrett Jones. Lane 4, Cormac Hughes. Lane 5, Ara Parsegian. And in lane 6, Sedona Reed. Your top time for Heat 1 comes from Garrett Jones, who brings in a 2:53.05, with Cormac Hughes bringing in a 2:57.43. So that's your lineup here for Heat 1 of the 200-yard butterfly. Once again, we really appreciate you taking the time to join us here this afternoon on Gators TV for this exciting 13 and 14-year-old session as you watch the swimmers exit the pool for their cool downs. Looks like poor Garrett Jones, he will need to race back-to-back races, so he'll be in lane 3 here in the 200 fly after coming in second place in the 100-yard backstroke. So no rest for Jones over there. He's in lane 3. You see him sitting on the block, needing a little bit of a break. Fortunately, he got that 50 cool down. Looks like there's a little bit of a delay here. All of the important people seem to be looking at their watches. Not sure why. But here we go, folks. Heat 1 is entering the building. Lane 1, Charlotte Kaiser. Lane 2, Emma Richards. Lane 3, Garrett Jones. Lane 4, Cormac Hughes. Lane 5, Ara Parsegian. And lane 6, Sedona Reed. So let's see how much Jones has left in the tank after that 100 back. Coming up on a very grueling 200 butterfly here. Swimmers seem to just about be ready. Officials are ready, and we'll be underway, folks. Mixed 13 and 14, 200-yard fly. So look at that, folks. It is Garrett Jones out to the early lead here. Ara Parsegian in lane 5 in second, but Garrett Jones, who is just coming off a second place finish in the 100 backstroke literally about 3 minutes ago, leads the way here early on in the 200 fly. He is out to a very quick start. Looks like Jones foregoing the swim cap, choosing to swim with no cap here, and it looks like it's working very well for him as he is in the lead. Ara Parsegian and Emma Richards close behind in lanes 2 and 5 respectively. Lane 1 is at the top of the pool, folks. Lane 6 is closest to the camera. As you see Jones start to slow down his stroke. I don't know how this guy does it. He must be exhausted. Laboring at the wall a little bit there on the turn here. But it's still going to be Jones. Those strokes are getting a little longer. And Parsegian is making a move here in lane 5, folks. Is Jones going to hold him off? Is Parsegian going to catch him? As we enter the final 50 here, Jones is... Parsegian in lane 5 starting to make his move. Emma Richards also in the conversation in lane 2. What a gutsy effort, but it is Parsegian at the wall first, at the turn. And in lane 5, it is Ara Parsegian in first, and it looks like Jones is going to be battling with Emma Richards for second place here. What an effort by all three swimmers. It's going to be Parsegian in lane 5 taking first, Richards in second, and Garrett Jones taking third. But I'll tell you, folks, this kid just raced the 100 backstroke. 3 minutes later, he turns around, literally 3 minutes later, he turns around and puts in a very good performance in the 200 fly, which is arguably the toughest event, or one of the toughest events in swimming. So kudos to you, Garrett Jones from the Gators. A well-deserved 50 cool down right here. This will take us to heat 2 of 4 of the 200 fly, which will feature in lane 1, Moritz Gerhard. In lane 2, Claire Carroll. In lane 3, Zach Szabo, who you just saw win the 100 backstroke. Lane 4, Alex Sulyama. In lane 5, Sarah Pescott. And in lane 6, Jack Eady. Zach Szabo has the top time in this heat, coming in at a 2:35.33, which is about 5 seconds faster than the next closest competitor, which would be Alex Sulyama from Crimson. And yes, Reem Parsegian is saying great swim. Ara, it was a great swim. Fantastic perseverance out of lane 5. He chased down Garrett Jones and he overtook him. So great job, Ara. Great job to all the swimmers. In heat 1. So as heat 2 swimmers make their way into the building here at Pods, once again to reset, lane 1 will be Gerhardt, lane 2 Carroll, lane 3 Szabo, lane 4 Sulyama, lane 5 Pescott, and in lane 6 will be Jack Eady. Your Crimson participants will be Carroll in 2, Szabo in 3, Sulyama in lane 4. Swimmers seem to be ready to go here. This is heat 2 of the 200-yard butterfly. So at the 50-yard mark, it's going to be Szabo from Crimson out of lane 3 with Claire Carroll right behind him in lane 2. Szabo just won the 100 back probably about 10 minutes ago. So again, another quick turnaround for him. Let's see how that impacts the back half of this 200 butterfly. We saw Jones have a tough time maintaining his fast start. Let's see if Szabo can do the same as we hit the flags here coming up on the first 100. It is Zabo still in the lead over Claire Carroll in lane 2. So to reset here, Zabo will touch the wall first on this turn. Claire Carroll right behind him. Alex Sulima and Sarah Pescod right behind them. So we'll see here if Carroll is going to be able to catch Zabo. Zabo clearly must be a little tired, got a lot of lactic acid built up in those muscles, didn't get a long rest in between the 100 back and the 200 butterfly, but he's trucking strong, folks. As you can see, he has about a body length lead on Claire Carroll. And as he comes for home, it is going to be Zach Zabo in lane 4. He will be your Heat 2 winner. Claire Carroll will come in second. Third place looks right now to be Sarah Pescod from Gators out of lane 5. So a fantastic race by Zach Zabo, Claire Carroll, and Sarah Pescod here in heat number 2 of the 200-yard butterfly here at Pod Swimming in East Providence, Rhode Island. And that's going to bring us to our last 2 heats of the afternoon, folks, in the 13-14 session. Lane 1 will feature Jocelyn Housley. Lane 2, Oliver Cox. Lane 3, Zach Dauphin. Lane 4, Damian Figet-Kosarev. Lane 5, Riley Plant. And in lane 6, Angela Parasol. So your top time comes courtesy of Zach Dauphin, who has a 2:27.51, followed very closely by Damian Figet-Kosarev with a 2:27.64. So Figet-Kosarev, known throughout New England as a prolific breaststroker, will be going up against Zach Dauphin, whose specialty is butterfly, as there is a rendition of Happy Birthday going on right now outside to Charlotte Kaiser. I'll bring you a little zoom in on the action out there. You can't see Charlotte because Coach Chris Ipp is blocking the view here, but nice little moment. Charlotte's teammates singing her happy birthday. There's no. Well, we wanted to bring you Charlotte, but I don't think it's going to work. We're going to need to get back to the action here at Pods in East Providence. This is heat 3 of 4 again. Lane 1, Jocelyn Housley. Lane 2, Oliver Cox. Lane 3, Zach Dauphin. Lane 4, Damian Figet-Kosarev. Lane 5, Riley Plant. And in lane 6, Angela Parasol. Swimmers have entered the building, getting all their gear off, masks, parkers, officials all ready. Here we go, folks. Heat 3 of 4, 200-yard butterfly.
Go, Gator.
One thing I've noticed in this meet this weekend, as opposed to our last meet in October, is how many more swimmers are wearing their tech suits. So again, in a very crazy year, typically your second meet of the year wouldn't see many of the swimmers suiting up. But in this crazy year that we're having so far, not knowing when the next meet is going to be, swimmers want to have their tech suit on and put forth their best effort here. So at the 50, it is Figet-Kosarev just in the lead over Dauphin right now. All these swimmers looking very strong. Forget Kosarev in lane 4, Dauphin in lane 3. They're going to be 1-2 as we head for home for the first 100. Oliver Cox holding strong in lane 2 in the 3rd position. Figet Kosarev is just such a strong swimmer. He's a very tall young man, long arms, long legs, very powerful. But I'll tell you, Zach Dauphin is making a move here, folks. You can see that for almost every one stroke that Figet Kosarev takes, Dauphin takes 2, and it's going to be a really tight final 50 here, as about a second and a half separates Dauphin and Figet Kosarev. Can Dauphin catch him? And it doesn't look that way. Figet Kosarev has opened up about a 3-second lead. He's going to take heat 3 out of lane 4. Damien Figet Kosarev. Second place is going to be from the Gators as well, Zach Dauphin. And third place is going to be Jocelyn Housley in lane 1 from the Gators as well. Super fantastic, excellent race. This brings us, yes, you can hear Madison cheering. She's going crazy over there with her teammates. She's standing with Maggie Holland right now. This will bring us to the final Fairway Independent Mortgage signature heat of the day here, folks. And this is going to be another spectacular heat. So lane 1 will be George Groves. Lane 2, Mila Vuoltinaho. Lane 3, Nick Kavik. Lane 4, Alexandra Akhmeva. Lane 5, Lauren Jolly. And lane 6, Ryan Connors. So your top time belongs to Nick Kavik here. He comes in with a 2:12.37. He is a solid 8 seconds faster than the next closest swimmer, Alexandra Akhmeva, at a 2:20. So I don't know how recent these times are, but this is going to be a very, very interesting race with both Groves and Connors in lanes 1 and 6 being very strong butterflyers as well. As you see heat 3 exit the pool, heat 4 will be entering the pool. And this is it, folks. Heat 4 of the 200-yard butterfly, the Fairway Independent Mortgage signature heat of the event. Lane 1, Groves. Lane 2, Vuoltinaho. Lane 3, Kavik. Lane 4, Akhmeva. Lane 5, Jolly. And in lane 6, Ryan Connors. Swimmers are ready. Officials are ready. Here we go, folks. Heat 4, 200-yard butterfly. They are off. Got to keep that camera moving fast with these extremely fast swimmers in the pool. Okay, so after your first 50, your leader is going to come from lane 6, and it's Ryan Connors. I mentioned before the race, Connors, a very prolific butterflyer, has been coming on strong lately, and he is building up a lead on the field out of lane 6. Once again, Ryan Connors from Gators. Looks like right now Connors with about a 2-second lead on Kavik in lane 3. Jolly in lane 5. We'll see what happens here as we go down the stretch. But Connors continues to look extremely strong here as we go wider to show you some perspective on the lead that he has on the field right now. Looks to be about a 4-second lead on Kavik, who is in lane 3. So let's see what happens here as Connors comes up on his final 50. Will he have enough in the tank to hold off Nick Kavik, who's making a move here in lane 3? And as they come down the stretch, folks, it will be Ryan Connors. Nick Kavik making a push, will not be able to catch him. Ryan Connors will be your Heat 4 winner out of lane 6. Nick Kavik in lane 3 coming in second. And George Groves in lane 1 coming in third. What a race. Fantastic race by all. And folks, that brings us to the end of our program here. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us. As I've told you earlier, this group is going to bring in 100 viewers tomorrow. So we look forward to it. But with that, signing off from East Providence, Rhode Island. Have a great evening.
Hi. Are you still live? Oh man, I need to make sure I'm on.
No, not now.